All right, so thank you for joining our LogMeIn rescue release webinar, where we're going to take a look back at some of the features that have been released so far this year, while also taking a peek at the upcoming roadmap. So let's meet our speakers. My name is Katie, Katie Stewart. I am Senior Product Marketing Manager for LogMeIn Rescue. I've been at the company for a little over a decade. I'm super passionate about advocating customers' interests to drive product improvements and innovations, and I'm excited to be here with you all. And I'm also excited to announce my awesome co-presenter, Chris. Chris, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Katie. My name's Chris Handley. I'm one of the product managers here for LogMeIn Rescue. Always look forward to engaging with our customers, and I can't wait to share some of the exciting updates we have for you today.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. I feel like everyone probably knows you already at this point. So as I mentioned, we're going to kick things off looking back at the most recent H1 releases. Then you're going to high-level look at the 2025 Rescue Roadmap. We'll dive into a few features that are coming soon in H2, giving you that first look, and then we'll close out the session with an open Q&A. So let's get started. So first, we're here on the heels of one of our recent big announcements of the new Rescue AI, Enhanced Security, and Translation packages. So you've probably seen that either emails or in products. So we have these 3 new packages, and part of our look back is that we've recently released additional AI features for rescue admins that give new, faster ways to provide remote support, enhancements to our web tech console, along with new enhanced security features. So really excited to go over that. All right, so as I mentioned, we have a lot of new AI features. So let's take a look at those first. But before we do, we'd love to hear from you. So have you adopted AI in your technical support operations? We're going to launch a poll there for you and give you a second to fill that out.
Some answers coming in. AI is kind of the buzzword right now, so we're curious. Are you adopting it? Are you averse to it? Kind of waiting it out? Lots of different opinions on this one.
I love it. Looks like the answers are slowing down. So um, great that we see a lot of interest in it. I think 43%, almost half of you say not yet, but you're planning to, um, or to some extent, and a few of you not considering it. So hopefully when we go through this, you can see what Rescue has to offer in terms of AI, and especially just how it's there to make your life easier, whether it's in the admin center or something that your technicians can use. So first and foremost, let's talk about AI script building. So AI script building, it enables admins to create scripts right inside that admin center. And you don't need any technical expertise to do this, meaning that it reduces friction, time delays. You don't need additional knowledge on script creation. It enhances user experience by just, simplifying that process. And so, Chris, do you want to tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so just as a reminder for anyone who might be newer to Rescue, Rescue allows you to deploy scripts during a session. So you might, want to build a script to automate something like an update or applying a patch, performing an action like an IP config or some other kind of network check. And previously, you had to have some developer knowledge to do that. But with our new Admin Center Go pilot, it's as simple as typing a sentence. Build me a script that runs an IP config in the command prompt. You can choose the type of script, whether it's PowerShell, Batch, Python, the platform that the script runs on. The great thing about Rescue is that the operating systems we support on desktop, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, you can build scripts for any one of those that can help you out during a session. Obviously, as the previous poll kind of alluded to, some folks are, currently averse to AI. They don't want to adopt it. We understand that. But if this is something you're interested in, definitely reach out to us and we can get this enabled for you. And you can start realizing the value that scripts can provide during a session.
Thanks, Chris. And yeah, and it's as easy as you can see. It's on the right-hand side, but it's part of our our Copilot so that you'll see that little option up in the top right. Another option is our Admin Center AI Assistant. So again, this is right within the product, but it provides admin guidance learning experience to help configure features and settings quickly and easily. So it really dramatically shortens that learning curve for new admins or even honestly improved season ones. It really helps with onboarding, feature adoption, and just working your way around the product. Chris, do you have any insights here?
Yeah, so again, the script builder and this AI assistant in the admin center, part of the same interface. So within that same window, you can either create scripts or, as Katie mentioned, if you want to ask questions about how to use Rescue, some of the options available, problems you're trying to solve, the AI can give you any kind of product tips and tricks, knowledge, step-by-step guides that you're looking for. Again, it's if you don't see the icon in the top right of your admin center, definitely reach out to us and we can enable this for you. This is available to all customers, so doesn't need a purchase to
Yeah, I
enable this.
should
We
have
want to
actually started that. We started with AI, but this isn't one of the additional. Thank you for calling that out.
Yeah, no worries. So available to all customers, both this and the script builder. So get a little taste of AI if you want to take it for a test drive, let us know.
And especially just because these are both here to just make your life easier in the sense of, trying to make things quicker, more efficient, um, and just get you onto tasks that actually matter. So we have security updates coming up next. And one that we are really excited about that just came out is our device-based restricted access package. So this is huge. This ensures only specific devices can engage in rescue sessions. It protects and supports your fleet at the device level, preventing unauthorized devices from being supported. And you can manage the device permissions right in the admin center. So meaning you can confidently and easily meet regulatory demands and compliance. And so, Chris, do you want to get us into the, more of how this works or the technical aspect of this?
Yeah, so obviously Rescue has a stellar security posture, and I want to make sure we're calling that out that SSO, MFA, password limits and controls, all of the robust security available to you remains that way in Rescue. What we're talking about now is an enhanced security add-on for those with maybe some edge cases or some more stringent compliance requirements. The great thing about this device-based restricted access package is you can truly protect any endpoint, regardless of where it is on the network, on your VPN, off your VPN, bring your own device out in the field. If you install this MSI that's generated through the admin center on that endpoint, no other rescue session from any other rescue account can be initiated. And obviously, in the world of scams, people will try and do some social engineering. Hey, I'm using the support tool you're familiar with. Look, I'm using Rescue. Let me in. Well, now you can have peace of mind. No, they cannot get in because this application, it contains a security key unique to your account. And there's a validation check that happens upon the attempted start of any rescue session. So if any other rescue user other than one of your own tries to connect to that device, it will be blocked. So there's no way in. Again, this is part of the new security add-on for Rescue, and if you'd like to test it out, you can certainly do so. We do have a trial available of this if you want to take it for a test drive. Just let us know.
Yeah, and Chris, again, you bring up a great point. So this is part of the security add-on, but the security add-on is only enhancing security. It is not taking anything away. Rescue is still, the most secure remote support product out there at its core. And these are just additional features that we're adding on top of that. So when I talk about core, we have definitely a few of the core updates as well. And one of the bigger ones, and each one that came out was our terminal service support. So this is improved support for unattended access sessions when assisting users connected to a terminal server. Technicians have the ability to select from a list of all users connected to the terminal server, ensuring they are connecting to the intended desktop. And this is really just next level support for anyone assisting users connected to terminal servers. And so, Chris, do you have anything more to add here?
Yeah, so there's a myriad of, options, configurations when it comes to deploying a terminal server or a virtual environment. And we got feedback from customers that in some instances, depending if you're sharing user profiles, unattended access wasn't the most intuitive. So with this new update, you can deploy unattended access to any terminal server, and then as you initiate the session, you'll actually see a list of every user connected to that terminal server, allowing you to ensure you target the correct logged in user. Very quick and easy, get connected to their device and get on with your day. So a nice improvement for unattended access here.
That's awesome. Um, and other core updates, we're going to talk about the WebTC updates. And so the big one that we released in H1 is the zero download remote view for WebTC. So this feature is, really just simplifying customer screen sharing. It allows remote view session to be established without any download or installation necessary. When you see here, you see the screenshots. You're prompt it with desktop view. And the benefit really is it reduces time and frictions for users to get into a session, and it expedites the session join experience when elevating to full remote control. So Chris, do you have anything to add here?
Yeah, so our web console, for those of you that may not be aware, we do have a web-based version of Rescue now. We are working on bringing it into feature parity with the desktop PC. So stay tuned for updates along those lines. But if you haven't checked it out, secure.logmeinrescue.com/webtc. Any account can use this. It's available to all of our customers. And this feature right here is especially useful, as Katie mentioned, for getting users into a session and viewing their screen a lot more quickly. Obviously, the most painful point, I hear it from customers all the time, is getting into a session. If you have a non-tech savvy user or any user, you got to walk them through the download. Where is the download? Here's how you unpack it. These are some of the prompts you might see. Well, now with the zero download remote view, it's a couple of clicks. You give them the pin code, they click start, and then they get a prompt in the browser that says, which screen or app do you want to share? And it's 2 clicks, and then you as the technician can see their screen in real time. So if you do need to elevate to remote control, now you can already see exactly what's happening. Okay, I saw that went into your desktop. I saw the executable went into your downloads folder. Here's how you get there. You can walk them through very quickly and easily. So massive time savings and an overall experience improvement with this feature. And again, anyone can try this out, regardless if you're using the desktop today and you want to take this for a test drive, /WebTC on the website.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, and you brought up a great point. So, we're trying to bring feature parity into the WebTC. And so a few other features were added so far this year to WebTC, including guided agent flow, session transfer, internal session transfer, and scripting. And so a few of those features that you know and love that we're adding to the WebTC. So Chris, I don't know if you have anything here to add, or if this is just a really awesome update that we're starting to see a lot of this feature parity.
Yeah, so the guided agent flow is kind of a newer addition that we'll be bringing back to the desktop console. So this one, along the lines of improving the session join flow and overall experience, this one gives agents a lot more insight into where the user is in the journey. Have they successfully downloaded the app? Did they run it, and are they just, stuck on a prompt? So the technician, even if you don't want to go into that zero download share experience, you want to jump straight to remote control, giving you a lot more transparency into exactly where they are in the journey to help get you in there quicker. Yeah, session transfer and scripting, these are just features that have always been available in the desktop TC, and now they're available in our web console. Nothing needed to do to enable these, just log into the WebTC and try them out.
Enjoy them. um, And so we still have even more updates to go over, and that leads me to the Rescue Live products. And so really excited, Live Lens Pan and Zoom went live in H1, and really this reduces the ambiguity in hardware support by allowing you to manipulate in freeze frame, zoom, pan. Um, you'll see features like freeze frame functionality, zoom in and zoom out. You can pan across the entire frame. it really reduces friction and time delays. And so, Chris, do you want to tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so Live Lens obviously is our camera sharing solution. So if you're supporting, physical devices, whatever that is, printers, servers, you name it, the mouse on your desk, you can stream a live feed from a user's mobile device. They can show you exactly what's going on. We got feedback from customers that having the ability to pause the screen is great. Obviously, you don't want the user moving around if you're trying to focus on something, but that sometimes they needed to get a little bit closer, maybe to view a specific port, a specific label that wasn't quite clear enough. So now with this feature, once you do freeze the frame, you have full zoom capabilities, extremely high definition, so you can zoom all the way in, pan across the frame once you are zoomed in, so you can see those finer details and help the user get on with their day. And as Katie mentioned, reducing friction, saving time along the way.
Great, thank you. So now we want to move into the really exciting part, our rescue roadmap. So we got to take a look back and see all these really great features that came out in each one. But let's take a look at our roadmap and then what features we can give you a little insight into what features are coming in H2. So Chris, do you want to give us just a high level? We won't go into all of these. We'd be here forever.
Yeah, there's a lot coming on the roadmap. What we've been working on and are working on. I do just want to call out for those of you that are interested in AI. It is available at the moment in our web console. Obviously, we understand we're still adding feature parity to that console, but I want to make sure I call this out that our desktop console, one, it's not going anywhere, and two, all of these exciting developments, our goal is to make them available in both consoles. So although AI started in the web, it is coming to the native or the desktop console. So for anyone interested and you just like the application as it sits, stay tuned. You will be able to take AI for a test drive in there very soon. Lots of exciting updates coming with our product unification for Live Guide, Live Lens into Rescue. We'll talk more about that. Great improvements coming in security. I don't want to spoil things, so we're going to dive into a few of these in more detail in a few minutes.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, and you can see that, like Chris said, we're not just adding features in certain parts of the product. You can see it's broken down into that core remote support and access, the admin and infrastructure, and then we also have the Rescue Plus and the Rescue Live Lens and Live Guide. So now I'd love to hear from you again. And with which of the following technologies would you like Rescue to integrate? So we have um, a lot of integrations coming up that we're working on, and we want to hear from you. So launching that now.
Yeah, I think especially for enterprise or any customer, really, I shouldn't say just enterprise, integrations are always an important part. And we're just curious, Rescue should be part of your tool set. And maybe it's not the primary system you use, but if there's another platform, a contact center platform, knowledge management, or DEX platform that you are using and you wish, hey, this should integrate with Rescue, love to know more about that. Always feel free to reach out to me or anyone on the team, but we're curious to know where you're headed next.
Awesome.
Ooh, it's a
Thank you.
even split by the look of it.
Yeah, it looks it. I think it just means we have to do it all.
Okay, I'll tell the engineers.
All right, so Chris did a high level, but we're going to do a little bit of deeper dive, sneak peeks into some of these really cool coming soon features. And so let's start. We started before with AI. Let's start with AI again. And one of the really exciting things that are coming are hands-on technician AI guidance. So really this is AI, but with agent control. So it enables support agents to receive, real-time guidance by prompting Rescue AI. And it provides a way for the agents to know what to do next, but it doesn't do it for them. It gives them control over executing those recommendations. So, again, it's the quicker issue resolution, but an increased agent efficiency. It accelerates onboarding, but it gives that control. And so we have a few slides for you that we want to show. So you use Rescue AI, the screen or the error analysis. Then whatever the error is, it would give you options, and you can choose the option of Guide Me. When you select Guide Me, it would give you the steps to the problem. and then you'd be able to, resolve the issue efficiently, but on your own terms. So, Chris, I'm not sure if there's anything here that's a very rough overview that you'd want to point out.
Yeah, so think of this like a troubleshooting guide, right? I actually started my professional life in tech support, so I know the pain well. There's a ton of variables, there's always something else to check, questions to ask. Wouldn't it be great if an agent could be prompted, what if they forget to ask a certain question? So one of the core features of our new AI add-on that we talked about at the beginning is our screen error analysis. So if an agent gets an error on screen or any prompt on screen, they want to know more about it, they're not quite sure exactly what it means, quick and easy, take a snapshot using the error analysis tool, and AI will give you kind of its interpretation of what the error is. But with this new Guide Me feature or this new AI assistant feature, not only does it take the meaning of that error, but will actually guide them step by step on areas to check. In this example, a microphone isn't working. It's prompting the technician, sorry, to check the sound settings, check different areas in the computer, in the control panel, check the application itself, to ensure that they've kind of crossed every T and dotted every I along the troubleshooting process. So definitely going to save some time, prevent some escalations, hopefully. So we're really excited to roll this out and get it into users' hands.
I love it. Like Chris, I also started in troubleshooting, and I just remember having to have like a support article up on the side and hoping that you've gone through all the steps when really it would be right there all in one place. Speaking of support articles and integrations, the next integration I want to talk about is ServiceNow AI integration. So we already have a ServiceNow integration. This is specific to our AI. And it really leverages existing knowledge-based information at the time of the issue resolution. So it's tailored recommendations based on specific ticket and device information, um, as well as company-specific approved SOPs. So Chris, do you want to give us any insight into this?
Yeah, so the goal of all of our AI features is to improve agent efficiency, reduce handle time. Really, there's a lot of ROI here in how quickly you could resolve a problem ticket. And obviously, there's a lot of information, right? The technician is looking at the device. There's a ton of information on the device. You've got your ticketing system. You've got your knowledge base in that ticketing system, specifically here, ServiceNow. How do you pull it all together? Well, with this new integration, your knowledge base in ServiceNow, your ticket knowledge in ServiceNow, coupled with the in-session device information in Rescue, all kind of comes together. So, for example, our error analysis tool, when you screenshot that error, it's not just looking at that plain text. It can also search through your existing knowledge base, any former tickets, give guidance based upon previous solutions. Um, Imagine how long it would take a technician to comb through all that information and get to that point. And now it's just a couple of seconds to surface that information at their fingertips, and get the resolution and get on to or on with the rest of their day. So great time savings. This is another one I'm really excited about. And for those of you using ServiceNow, expect more information on this in the coming weeks.
Awesome. Yeah, this is really exciting. Um, and up there with exciting items is also our external knowledge base support. So this enables agents to access the most up-to-date and comprehensive information from across your organization. So faster, more accurate response and for improved first call resolutions and just better overall customer experience. So you can see that there that it would be pulling in your external knowledge support. And so Chris, I know you kind of highlighted on what that would mean for snow, but is there additional information that you would want to provide for, external knowledge base?
Yeah, so obviously not everyone's using ServiceNow, right? Whether that system is Confluence or some other knowledge repository, our goal is to allow you to connect this to Rescue because general LLMs, AI models, they're only as good as the information they have access to. And obviously, if you're using a more tailored solution, you have more tailored practices, specific software, even specific processes, a general LLM will not have access to that information. So by connecting it to your external knowledge base, we're giving all of that context to Rescue and all of that context to the AI within Rescue. So it's going to just supercharge, again, the knowledge that technicians have at their fingertips and readily available.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so we went through AI, but we also have some awesome security updates as well. And one of the ones that we want to call out is our dedicated customer domain. So this is super exciting. Customers have been asking for this for years, but it gives you the option to customize your own rescue URL. So it'd be that single entry point for the product, one domain used for everything, which definitely facilitates easier allow listing, giving you the ability to completely block all other rescue traffic. And so you'd only need to allow list your own domain. And so, Chris, I know that this has been a popular request for years. Do you want to give us any additional information?
Yeah, this is a big one. This is a big one. We hear this a lot. Customers want their own kind of specific entry point, their own specific login point for rescue, and it's finally here. Katie and I were joking before this, how do we capture this in the slide? Obviously, it's really difficult to capture a custom domain. We did our best, but it's truly anything custom. So imagine, customer.logmerescue.com. That is now where you log in. That is now what you need to approve in your firewall, in any of your network appliances, your VPN, whatever it is. In the future, this is going to unlock some cool customer specific features. I'm thinking custom pin entry pages hosted on your custom domain. Um, this one is going to take some work. We've already started on it. Expect more updates towards the end of the year, but this is coming as part of the new security package. So stay tuned. And obviously, if you're interested in this, you have questions, you want to talk requirements, feel free to reach out to me or any of the product team or your success rep at any time. We'd be happy to have that discussion.
Great, that's exciting. Um, so jumping over to our rescue core updates, one of the big ones coming are connectivity tool, which just allows you to self-service and troubleshoot, network issues to ensure rescue will work without needing to contact us for support. So really trying to give you more of those self-service options. It would do things like check proxy configuration, open ports, confirm whitelisting information, and then provide a readout advising the settings or network configuration that needs to be changed. So really trying to give you the ability that you don't have to stop your day and contact us, but giving you, what to do right there in front of you.
Yeah, we wanted to make this a little bit easier for customers, as you mentioned, Katie. Obviously, uh, customers have complex environments, and we understand that. So having the ability to do a quick check within your environment, are the required ports open? Are the required domains allowed? Is there any particular process that could be interrupting traffic? How's your proxy configured? There's multiple layers to this. And 9 times out of 10, you have to get on the phone with our support team. But we wanted to make this, as you mentioned, self-service. So with this tool, it will be part of our desktop application and also available as a standalone as well. You can run a quick connectivity check with Rescue. It will also do a speed test for you as well. Trace route to our environment, make sure there's no issues with hops along the way. Perhaps there's a problem with an ISP, for example. All of that information you'll have in front of you to make any corrective action that you need. So stay tuned for this one coming in the next month or two.
That's great. Um, and we went over it earlier, but we also have some WebTC updates, again, really trying to close that gap and have more feature parity. So coming soon will be things like file manager, instant chat, session history, and notes. And so, Chris, I'm not sure if there's anything here that you'd want to add.
Just to add that these really represent the last, or what I would call the big features to get into our web console. After this, obviously, we're going to continue working, right? We're not done. But these, I would say, are the big ones. We're going to continue to make some improvements along the way. We obviously have recording to get out the way that's not on this list that will be starting later this year. But beyond that, I think we're pretty close to getting our new web console in parity with the desktop. So super excited to reach that milestone with you.
Yeah, that's huge. Wanting to get that WebTC out there, but then, seeing all these features come out that, give you exactly what you're used to in the desktop, but now on the web, that's exciting. And so, last but not least, definitely want to go over some Rescue Live updates. This is what Chris was mentioning, a lot to do with the consolidation of Live Lens and Live Guide in Rescue. So I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that. And then also just want to touch base on AD Sync will also be available pretty soon, I believe, Chris, for Live Guide and Live Lens.
Yeah, so we have three great tools. For those of you that may not know, let's start there. So we have Rescue, right? It's the core remote support offering. We all know what that does. We all love it. But there's two other tools here that, have great value and providing support in more unique cases. So I went over Live Lens a bit. If you're supporting a physical device, great way to see it physically, even though you're not there in person, especially in the remote world some of us still live in. And then we have Live Guide, which is our co-browsing tool. So it allows you to surf on any website, any website that you own, any website publicly. You can surf that with a customer, and you can also do things like obfuscate data. You can, for example, if you're walking a customer through filling out a form and they have to enter sensitive information, that's hidden from the technician. Anyway, a lot of cool power there. But at the moment, they're pretty separate as a tool set. And organizations obviously want to consolidate. They want access to those tools at their fingertips. So what we're doing is we're bringing them together in Rescue. So starting off on our new web console, you will not only be able to start a rescue session, but you will then be able to jump off to a live guide or a live lens session. We're also looking at the potential of elevating, for example, from a live guide session to a rescue support session if the need arises. That's kind of the first phase. And then long term, the admin experience. Again, these are three separate tools, separate user repositories. We want to bring everything back into the core rescue product within the admin center. So that's our long term goal. And as a short term improvement, for those of you who have Active Directory, you'll now be able to sync your Live Guide and Live Lens users with our Active Directory sync tool as well.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Um, Really, again, I feel like all these features that we've been talking about is trying to, bring everything into Rescue into one place, be at your fingertips, make your life easier, more efficient. And so I feel like this is just the next step for these Rescue Live products. And then I think we have one more poll for you. Um, And that one is, you've heard from us, but would you like to connect with a rescue expert? I'm not going to put these poll results up, but just, if you want to talk more about these products. And then finally, let's jump into our Q&A. So you've heard a lot about us, or from us, and about us, I guess. So you've heard a lot on our end, but now we want to hear from you. So we've gone over a lot in a short time. Um, and so what questions do you have for us? I had a few private ones come in. So Chris, I'm going to start maybe with some of these questions that I've gotten.
Mhm.
Um, am I able to test the WebTC if I'm already using the desktop version?
Yeah, so short answer is yes. Let me give you a bit more detail. So as I mentioned, both consoles are available to our customers regardless of where they start or what they're doing. The nice thing is, even if you're already logged into either of the respective consoles, you can switch. And I mean, even if you're in an active session, you just want to bounce back over to the desktop, for example, or vice versa. If you're in the desktop, in our latest version, there's a nice big launch WebTC button. Again, if you're in an active session, you just click that. It'll log you in, transfer the session over so you can keep working. Similarly, if you're in the web console and you want to switch back to desktop in the menu header, you'll see an option to do that as well. You can only be logged into one at a time. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. So you can't have them both open together with the same user credentials, but you can switch back and forth between them whenever you need.
Thank you. Another question we had was another question on the LogMeIn Rescue Technician console. Can we have an auto logout of active sessions if inactivity reaches, X minutes? At the moment, only admins can force a session to end.
Yes, so A session ending I want to make sure we're clear. Session ending is different than logging the user out. But I'm trying to think. Within the admin center, there is what's called I think it's the idle timeout that you can set. So for example, if I'm a technician, I'm logged in, I'm having a session, and I forget to log out, go home at the end of the day, I'm still using that license, right? I'm still logged in. Now nobody else can log in. For example, if we're sharing licenses in a concurrent model, you can set that timeout in the admin center. So if they're idle for, let's say, 5 minutes, automatically will be logged out of the console itself. I hope I answered that question, but if we need further clarity on that, we'd be happy to connect with you directly. But there are multiple options in the settings there.
Yeah, it looks like maybe we need to connect with this person individually because it's saying it's not working if they have an active session, only if they have no sessions. So we'll reach out to you after this.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
we also got another question, love it, roadmap question. Can you tell us a little bit more about the unattended without admin credentials that's on the upcoming roadmap that we didn't go over?
Yeah. So for unattended, when you set up unattended access today, it was initially designed, many years ago. It's got probably one of the most security postures of any remote support product. But for an internal use case, sometimes that can actually kind of hinder your productivity and the user flow that you have. So we're going to allow the ability for a technician, because you might not want to give technicians access to admin credentials, depending on how your company's set up. You will now be able to start an established unattended session with any user credential. That's any user credential on the remote device, but it does not have to be an admin level credential. Um, We've also gotten feedback that's another sneak peek into improvement coming on unattended access that, the ability right now to store credentials and unattended for a maximum of 2 weeks. Some of our customers want longer. They want to store those credentials for way longer to make their technicians' lives easier, just one click access. We understand that. We certainly don't want to get in the way. So that's another improvement coming to unattended access very soon as well.
Great. And one more roadmap question. So if anyone else has any other questions, send it in now. Um, but someone wrote in, I noticed background access on the roadmap slide. Can you give us a little bit more details on that?
Yeah, so background access is another one designed to kind of save time for technicians and also reduce interruptions for end users. Whether you're in an unattended session or an attended session, there are, I would say, frequent actions or frequent tools that you might want access to, and you don't really want to have to go onto the desktop, start a full, remote control session. The user's busy, right? So what this will allow you to do is you still establish a session with that device, but you're not viewing the desktop at all. But you can access things in the background now, like the command prompt, registry editor, the file manager, perform actions, in the background. Again, you're not interrupting the user, you're not fully taking control over their machine, but you can perform those tasks like updating the registry, running any command lines that you need to deploy on that device. So a nice feature coming to rescue again to improve the overall experience.
That's great. So I think so far that might be it with our questions today. Um, yeah, I guess as you're digesting this, as you're thinking, if you have any other questions, you can always follow up, like Chris said, with us after. Some really exciting things coming, um, both for, or, for everything, for the packages, for Rescue Core, for Rescue Live Lens. And so, yeah, really exciting stuff.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. And I do just want to take this opportunity to plug our community as well. So it's available right from our website. If you go on the support site, you can search community. A lot of good stuff posted there. We're posting updates on the feature parity for the web console. We're also posting new product releases, betas, information about the AI package. All of that can be found on the community. You can sign up, engage with us. I frequently look in there as well. So highly
And
encourage
how
you
to
to go.
sign up for beta as well. Because like for
Yes.
these beta features, there's a way that you sign up and then you can experience all of them as they come out. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.